Because YouTube is more broken than ever, if you want to see more Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts, and The Legend of Zelda content, I'd really appreciate it if you can hit the bell after subscribing. That way you'll never miss another video again. You guys may think I'm joking about this, but I'm not kidding. The stats are right here. It says over 78% of you guys who consistently watch my videos aren't actually subscribed. So with the amount of support you guys give my videos, it would be fantastic if a lot of you guys who frequently watch the videos but found yourself still not having really subscribed, why not make it official? I'd love to have you part of our community. That way you can become a greater influence to those of us in here. We'd love to hear what you have to say about anything and everything JRPG related. But on that note, with knowledge of past games, we're aware the universes of Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and The World Ends With You are all connected through the Kingdom Hearts games. And by that, I don't specifically mean that, say, The World Ends With You is going to appear in a Final Fantasy game. No, I really don't believe that would be the case unless Square Enix really says they just want to go that route. But what I really am implying here is that through Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy characters and The World Ends With You characters can all coincide. These series can exist together with Kingdom Hearts, but probably not on their own. You probably won't see a Kingdom Hearts character in a Final Fantasy game, for example. That's what I basically mean. We've met the Shibuya gang in the Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance game on 3DS and now PS4, and in the past we promised to meet up again in Shibuya next time we all meet, which seems to be the case thanks to the Kingdom Hearts 3 epilogue. And littered throughout the entirety of the series down to its very conception, we've seen Final Fantasy characters in their normal state or in different forms like Tidus, Wakka, and Selphie, all living on Destiny Islands in KH4 and 2 with Sora, Riku, and Kairi. And then we see Cloud and Squall from Final Fantasy 7 and 8 respectively. So like it or not, these worlds are connected. But what if there was a way to connect these worlds in a way we've never actually seen before, or at least in a way that we were never aware of? Now, going forward with this video, I did want to specifically mention that this is all going to be speculation. Again, anything that's got to do with Yozora, and we haven't seen anything really of him. I just want to make that clear. We've only really seen him through the Verum Rex trailer and the end of Remind. That's basically it. We don't know what his backstory is. We don't know what his future holds. The conclusion, none of that stuff. So of course, this is all going to be speculation. Nothing in here I'm going to be saying is definitive or anything like that. So I just wanted to make sure that was blatantly obvious. I also wanted to mention too that there will be spoilers for Final Fantasy 15 in this video. A video really talking about Noctis, especially in this context, will require me to even spoil the ending. So if you haven't played Final Fantasy 15 or watched a whole story recap or something, then I would recommend you stopping here and doing that and coming back afterwards. But if you have played 15 or you just know the story or just don't care, you can feel free to continue on and let's dive a bit deeper. It'd be plain crazy to not see the similarities Noctis and Yozora share. The two look similar, yet appear to be inverted versions of each other, almost as if yin and yang. Noctis is black hair, while Yozora has whitish gray hair. Noctis's jacket design is solid colored, while Yozora has more of a plaid look. Like we saw in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, in the battle against Yozora, Yozora can use the powers he captures from others. In his battle, it's possible for him to capture and replicate the powers of your Keyblade, making yours disappear, just like how Noctis uses the power of his royal ancestors through the royal arms he finds across his journey, exploring the tombs of his forefathers. And this is a similar scheme to using powers that don't necessarily belong to them. And I feel like that really makes these characters connected in a way that isn't exactly copying each other, but it's a cool spin on what makes them similar, yet oh so different at the same time. Another example, Yozora, based on the end of the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind limit cut scenario, appears to be in a position of power in some fashion in this world, as we see him being escorted by a chauffeur of some sort, in a similar style as we saw Noctis being escorted in the Final Fantasy Versus 13 trailer. And we can actually compare this not only just to that trailer, but when you really think about it in terms of being in a position of power, Noctis starts off as the prince of this kingdom in Final Fantasy 15. Though after the unexpected death of his father and the fall of his kingdom, it was Noctis, the fallen prince, to fight for his people and his right to sit upon the throne that he rightfully deserves as the true king of this world. Based on the Verum Rex trailer, trailer, it seems Yozora is following a girl, specifically the girl we see being kidnapped by that world's enemies in the Verum trailer, as I previously stated, who we believe to be the nameless star, Sora, that we saw in the main game of Kingdom Hearts 3. And similarly, just as Noctis throughout the game of 15 is trying to reunite with his beloved Lunafreya, who more or less dies midway into the game. And though technically because of Dawn of the Future book that just recently released, we know she's not necessarily dead, but this in itself is even more relates her to the nameless star, as she's dead but not technically, as she exists as a star within the final world with still memory of who she is and who she cares about. I'm not necessarily trying to imply that Yozora is Noctis's nobody specifically, but more so along the lines of being a reincarnation of Noctis. As the end of 15, at the cost of saving the world, Noctis does end up dying. But due to the circumstances of his death, it may have been possible that though he himself may be gone, his heart was reborn into who we know as Yozora. The similarities of designs we said before can't go ignored. He even has the heterochromia condition like Noctis was going to have when using his abilities in Final Fantasy Versus 13. But one thing I really want to make clear here, of course, this would never be stated in a Kingdom Hearts game. I doubt Square would let Nomura do something like this, no matter how cool the concept is. But it's something he can definitely hint towards, allowing it to scream at the player without making it definite, by making it a central plot point. As regardless of what happened in a past life, that does not change anything of what needs to be done here and now. But that's it. I really just wanted to make this quick video to really, I guess, vent my thoughts on this situation. It could be more that he's technically is nobody. I don't think they would really do that because someone being someone's nobody is always a central plot point in these games. So like, that's how I feel. Like, I mean, you could say Roxas is another prime example. Roxas being who he was a big part of that central story. I mean, it was a whole aspect of Days, and it was a big plot point of KH4 in the opening hours of that game. So even in the closing moments of that game, it still made an impact. And him being there and who he was in KH3 made a substantial impact. And that's why I feel being someone's nobody always is very important, as the main villains are littered with them. So I don't really think he would be his nobody, because I feel like it'd be impossible to make Yozora Noctis's nobody without making it a plot point. And I just don't feel that's something Square will allow Nomura to actually do. I just don't think that. If you guys think differently, please give me reasoning in the comments, because I would love that to be the case. I only came up with some other thing like reincarnation or something just because I knew that couldn't be possible. Because if they made it low key, like a reincarnation of him, they could easily do that, or making him feel like he's done something like this before and not even having an explanation for it. I would still love something like that. It relates him to Noctis without having it be, you know, substantial. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this idea is cool, or would you rather just it have no relation to Noctis or 15 whatsoever? You hate 15, anything regarding it. But let me know down in the comments. And again, if you enjoyed and you haven't subscribed already, why not subscribe, become a warrior of courage, and help us reach to 10K. I'd love us to hit 10K by the end of this year. We're already making a rapid growth towards 9K, and it would really mean a lot for these next few months to go, as well as I'd hope it will. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely share it with a friend. It would really, really mean a lot to me, as I can see you guys sharing the videos, and it really does mean a lot. Thank you for all the kind messages you guys send me as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll try to be back as quickly as possible with another video. I've got another one lined up for this. So if you see me wearing the same shirt in the next video, I promise you I shower. I'm just making videos all at once today. I'm on a roll.